About 3 miles south of Edinburgh city centre, in an area known as Little France, is Edinburgh Bioquarter, one of Europe's fastest growing life science locations. This £600 million project is a joint venture designed to enhance Edinburgh's reputation as a centre of biomedical innovation. Bioquarter's commercialisation director is Dr. Mike Capaldi.
Bioquarter is essentially a partnership between NHS Lothian, University of Edinburgh, the Scottish Enterprise and Alexandria Real Estate. And the idea is that we're all working towards the same goal, which is to turn this site here at Little France into a leading centre for translational medicine. I think that what we're doing here is pretty unique in Europe, bringing academics, physicians onto a large campus that covers a whole range of different disease areas and expertises with all the facilities that you require for modern drug discovery and drug development, putting that all in one place. And then bringing industry on the back of that, because that's the place where they want to be, I think is actually relatively unique and will make us one of the leading centres for translational medicine anywhere in Europe, I think, in 10 years' time. One of the strengths of this site is the fact that we've got such a range of people on the site. So we've got clinicians, so we've got the Edinburgh Royal Infirmary. They'll be building the hospital for sick children here in about 2 years' time. We've got 2 research institutes now, the Scottish Centre for Regenerative Medicine, the Medical School and the Queen's Medical Research Institute here, so that's probably about another 1,500 researchers on the site. Importantly, a lot of the clinicians are also academics, so these are people that treat patients but also deeply understand the biology as well, and of course that's perfect when you're trying to create an environment where you're developing new treatments and new therapies and new diagnostics to treat difficult diseases. We have 3 main strategies within Bioquarter, one of which is encouraging innovation in the academic community and throughout NHS Lothian as well.
As part of the strategy of encouraging innovation, Edinburgh Bioquarter runs an annual innovation contest. The inaugural competition attracted 24 entries from the University of Edinburgh and NHS Lothian. It was won by Fermatics, a Bioquarter spin-out run by Dr. Felix Agakov and Professor Paul McKeague. They're working with biomarkers to speed up the discovery and testing of new drugs.
The problem we set out to solve is one that's a fairly general one in biomedical research. For endpoints like cardiovascular disease or Alzheimer's, trials need to follow up many patients for many years. And what industry would like to be able to do is use biomarkers as substitute endpoints so that they can get by with quicker, shorter trials, at least in the early stages of drug development. We're very astounded by how quickly that this idea has progressed from something which we first began working on 2 years ago to something which is now ready to spin out as a new business idea.
There is certainly a business case for intelligent data analysis, and intelligent data analysis in life sciences in drug development is certainly one of those areas with probably the highest impact on the society, and we will develop intelligent software which can significantly speed up the whole process of drug development from early stages of identifying biomarkers, which may be likely causes of diseases as possible targets for interventions, to much later stages when it comes to assessment of effectiveness of new drugs, bringing new drugs to markets more effectively and more efficiently.
One of the runners-up was Accupept, led by Dr. Thierry Lebihan of the University of Edinburgh's School of Biological Sciences. The company helps with the identification of biomarkers for cancer and other conditions.
Being recognized by an outsider, it's very good, and I think that's helped a lot to put a bit more energy in this effort. Then not only promoting our company is interesting, but also, being able to interact with other participants here it's great.
Encouraging spin-out success is one of Bioquarter's raison d'etre, and one company that has its sights firmly set on the future is Eye-to-Eye Diagnostics, which develops innovative eye care devices primarily aimed at patients who struggle to interact with conventional medical equipment.
The technology that we have has been developed over the last 5 years at the University of Edinburgh by Professor Bob Minns and his team. It's called saccadic vector optokinetic perimetry, and it's a way of using eye tracker technology to monitor a patient's natural reflexive responses of their eye movements in order to create a visual field map, which is a way of assessing what they can see, what they can't see. It has clinical utility in the diagnosis and management of optical and also neurological illnesses that the patient might have. That's now being commercialized through Eye-to-Eye Diagnostics, which was a company that's been incubated and is spinning out from the Edinburgh Bioquarter. Bioquarter have been enormously supportive to us to put in place a professional management team that could take the company, I think, from the sort of concept, proof of concept where it currently is, through to having a validated and approved medical device on the market within the next 2 years, I think, is the expectation.
What industry is interested in these days is access to patients, but also access to clinical academics that are able to treat the patients and help them design their clinical studies. They want to be here. This is a place where they can get things done quickly, and basically it's a one-stop shop.
The 100-acre site at Edinburgh Bioquarter is also home to the Scottish Centre for Regenerative Medicine and a 92,000 square foot bioincubator called 9, which offers a mix of lab and office space for smaller startup companies to more established organisations.
9 at the Edinburgh Bioquarter is a speculative development, partly funded by the UK Government and Scottish Enterprise. The benefits that and access to facilities and services and contacts that the wider Bioquarter site offers is hugely important for tenants. This business development support service that we're offering can provide tenants of whatever size, be they early stage companies or spin-out companies or more established corporate companies, the access to all the networks and contacts that they will need to help develop and grow their business going forward.
I think this site's going to be probably 2 to 3 times the size in 10 years' time. We will slowly fill the site with companies moving on. We've got, at the moment, there's a new bioincubator that's been built. That's 100,000 square feet. The ground floor will be for small incubator companies, but then floors 2 and 3 will be for larger companies. As we fill that building, we'll then build another one, and we'll get more companies moving onto the site, and the thing will actually just start to grow. It'll take a life of its own. So in 10 years' time, this site will be huge.